Hello friends, it's Jules here
And James.
from FGS, and we are here with a list that is so goddamn essential that your doctor is petitioning to add it to your 5 a day. That is right, it is a bloody hype list for Microsoft's brick hit house, as we're going to be detailing the best upcoming Xbox games you can look forward to in 2024. So, let's kick things off with number 10.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6. 4 years on from Black Ops Cold War, which is technically Black Ops 5, Treyarch and Raven Software are back with Black Ops 6, but what can we expect from the next entry in the iconic FPS franchise?
I'll just answer that for you right now. It's guns and lobbies that will make you cry for the amount of abuse you'll be taking.
You. Go to hell, you with it. You. You.
Thank you, Jules. Anyway, set during the early 90s, the game promises a mind-bending narrative campaign and dynamic moment-to-moment gameplay.
What does that mean? We don't know, but it's got it.
Fans of the Black Ops series will be all too aware of the thrilling, politically drenched stories we've had before, so strap yourselves in for some more brain-aching twists and pulsating set pieces. Also, get ready for people saying, keep politics out of games, while they commit virtual atrocities for the government. Not even kidding, that's where we are as a species. What the Anyway, there'll be 16 new multiplayer maps at launch, including 12 core 6v6 maps and 4 strike maps that can be played 2v2 or 6v6. And yes, they're zombies. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will release October 25th on PC, PS4 and 5, and Xbox consoles. It's also coming to Game Pass day one, because Xbox owns Activision. Sorry, PlayStation fans.
Number 9, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. Okay, let's just face facts here. It would be impossible for me not to make a list of upcoming games I'm extremely, irrationally and uncontrollably hyped for and not include Space Marine 2. Especially seeing as I was lucky enough to play an off-floor demo with James of the title at last year's Gamescom, so can confirm the following.
And when he says he played it at Gamescom with me, we had a session together with one system, and I just politely sat there watching Jules live his best life. Like, can I check my phone in front of these people? No, I'll just sit here and pretend I know what's going on.
It was glorious. It's like having your own personal hype man. The action is meaty and satisfying. The atmosphere is unquestionably rich. The tech on show, especially concerning enemy numbers and swarm mentality, is jaw-dropping. And the visuals look like my deepest Warhammer fantasies come to life. Well, maybe not my deepest, because that involves Lorgar getting a pipe shoved up his... Anyway, let's move on and talk about how else Space Marine 2 is going to rock your world when it drops on the 9th of September. The game is shipping with not just a 3-player co-op campaign and a full suite of multiplayer modes, but also looks to provide huge levels of customization for players looking to stamp their personal brand on the Imperium or Heretics' finest. With teasers of piloting dreadnoughts, myriad monstrosities to take down, and of course, a ton of meaty weapons to get your power-armoured hands on, this is going to be a glorious third-person action blender that I can't wait to play, and neither should you. For the Emperor and all that jazz.
Number 8, Sonic X Shadow Generations. I'd be hard-pressed to name a series that's been through the ringer quite like Sonic the Hedgehog. The once iconic, fast-paced platformer franchise has been to some dark, dark places.
No, James, step away. Don't go there. No!
Becoming divisive for its inconsistency. So let me say with the utmost caution that Sonic X Shadow's Generation looks pretty good. Featuring a remaster of Sonic Generations, a title that balanced 2D and 3D level design, this new title also features Shadow the Hedgehog as a playable character with his own standalone campaign. The cooler, edgier, high-speed Hedgehog, sorry Sonic fans, will face off against his nemesis, Black Doom.
Who's gonna be taking on Macho Man at the Thunderdome, brother?
Oh, yeah.
Shadow will awaken new dark powers as he fights to save the world, giving many sickos what they want, a chance to make Shadow the star again. It's me, by the way. I'm sickos.
Can confirm.
Also, just a reminder that Keanu Reeves will be playing Shadow in Sonic 3. Nothing to do with this game, just wonderful news we must never forget. Sonic X Shadow Generations is coming October 25th to PC, PS4 and 5, Xbox consoles, and Nintendo Switch. Gotta go fast!
Number 7, the casting of Frank Stone. It's such a weird experience when you're watching like a long-running TV show, say like One Piece, and your season's into things, and suddenly you get reminded of just how far you've come since Season 1, Episode 1. It's that mad rush of thinking how out of control, over the top, and in some cases downright silly things have become, and trust me, Dead by Daylight now has hit this heady peak as we're off into the bloody deep end, kids.
And at this point, I'd like to remind everybody that Nicolas Cage is a playable character in this game, and voiced his own lines. And I'm talking about Dead by Daylight, not the casting of Frank Stone. Nobody get too excited about it.
I'll stand up again. I'll walk. I'll scare the out of you, killer. I'm Nick fucking King!
What started as a simple asymmetrical horror game has now been moulded and formed into a long-running narrative about a being known as the Entity who tortures souls in an endless series of multiversal survivor games in order to feed off their misery and pain. And now, in a surprising and tantalising move, we're getting an origin story. The casting of Frank Stone is a collaboration between Dead by Daylight and Until Dawn creators Supermassive Games, and will follow the latter's format of choice-based cinematic quality gameplay while being set in the former's universe. This time, we follow a group of young teens looking to make a horror movie who unfortunately get caught up in something much, much bigger. As they explore the murder mill, we too will likely explore the role of the eponymous Frank Stone, who thanks to some rather horrible images definitely looks to be imitating the Entity with that suit of armor. Whether things play out as simply as Frank becomes the Entity all along is yet to be seen, but there's some certainties that we can nail down. This game is looking fantastic, it's going to be utterly unhinged, and there certainly is going to be horror oozing from every single frame. We can't wait.
And also, for anybody like me who watches Limmy play Dead by Daylight on Twitch, I'm just waiting for some kind of deep-rooted lore about that guy to appear.
Sorry about that. Yes!
Number 6, Metaphor Refantazio. It might also be Refantazio, but I'm an A, not an A kind of guy, so we're just gonna roll with it. Atlus began 2024 with a banger when they dropped Persona 3 Reload in February, but they're not stopping there. Metaphor Refantazio is a brand new IP from the veteran developer being directed by Katsura Hashino, who previously worked on Persona 5, Catherine, Shin Megami Tensei, and more, so you know it's in the best of hands. Taking place in the medieval fantasy realm of the United Kingdom of Uchronia, where the king has just been assassinated, resulting in a tournament to find the next monarch, you play as a young man who is in possession of forbidden magic. It doesn't say what it is, by the way.
Sleight of hand, pulling rabbits from hats,
Yeah.
It's coins behind the ears.
Despite being friends with the prince, your powers make you incredibly unpopular. For some reason I'm sure will be explained in the game when we all get to play it, but there's no time to dwell on that as you get sent off on a grand adventure to save your mate. Featuring beautiful visuals and anime cutscenes, Metaphor is unashamedly dripping with style, and some in-game locations look like living paintings. As for gameplay, it features both turn-based and real-time combat, as well as a social element kind of thing, like hanging out with friends and developing bonds. If you played an Atlus game before, you kinda know what I'm talking about here. While it's easy to dub this a Persona entry for Fire Emblem fans, we get the feeling there's something grander and more gripping waiting to be found when Metaphor Refantazio releases October 11th, 2024 on PC, PS4 and 5, and Xbox Series XS. Not Xbox One, apparently. That's weird.
Number 5, Starship Troopers Extermination. Well, friends, it's time to talk about a game that has me so utterly giddy that I can't wait to shove this up your 360 flip hole. That's right, it's Starship Troopers Extermination time, baby, which is set for console release on the 11th of October. Now, this title has already been doing the rounds in early access on PC and has recently been beefed up by a significant update which added in the horrifying new feature of bodies not disappearing on death, meaning the bugs can now use their fallen comrades as a ladder of death to invade your base. Great, thanks, I hate it. And speaking of bases, this is one of the main features of Extermination, looking to set it apart from other extraction shooter titles, as here, after collecting resources in a kind of survival pre-game, you then need to collectively build a base, equip it with guns, traps and defensive towers, and then settle in for a game of "oh god, please let me live," which takes the form of a wave survival mode. It's exhilarating, tense, fun as all hell, and surprisingly creative to boot, and you can do your part when Starship Troopers Extermination drops later this year.
It's also worth pointing out that when we all played together, we built a base so well built that Matt, who's our boss, couldn't get in.
He couldn't, and we're just watching him just open the door. He's like, there aren't any.
Number 4, Assassin's Creed Shadows. When Assassin's Creed Codename Red was announced back in 2022, fans of the long-running RPG series finally got what they always wanted, an AC game set in feudal Japan.
Finally!
With 2 playable protagonists, Naue and Yasuke, Assassin's Creed Shadows looks to combine the stealth gameplay of OG titles with the more in-depth RPG mechanics of the latter entries. Naue, with her hooded garb and agile movements, is better suited for the covert approach, while Yasuke, in his samurai armor and with his hulking physique, is more than capable of going through the front door. From what we've seen in gameplay previews, these contrasting approaches make for varied opportunities and mean you can either stick with what works for you, or swap back and forth as and when. As well, being an Ubisoft title, we can expect plenty of content within, and playing through it all with 2 distinct main playable characters can only add to the experience. Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming to PC, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on November the 15th, 2024.
Number 3, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl. With Fallout shining brightly like an irradiated neon sign, the world has gone post-apocalypse mad. Thankfully, though, there are more than a few games to scratch that itch. Although, please don't rub too hard or your scalp will come off. I mean, that's radiation sickness for you. And one of these thermonuclear beauties is Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, which is set to drop later this year for PC and Xbox. And boy, howdy, is this thing looking equal parts amazing and utterly harrowing. In stark contrast to Fallout's over-the-top approach to combat, Stalker is griming things up with gritty ballistics and where every gun looks worn and well-tested. The world around has gone to hell, and it looks like the devil's mates are here to play, as you'll encounter phenomena and creatures mutated and twisted beyond recognition. Make no mistake, while this game looks utterly beautiful, you won't want to get up close with any of these creatures. Similar attention to detail seems to have gone into the game's locales, which are piled high with scrap and remnants of the world before, making for interesting firefight scenarios. Do you push up under the cover of old scrap iron, or rush for a ladder taking you above your opponents to flush them out? Whatever you choose, make sure to pack a Geiger counter, as your most deadly foe is invisible to all but that ominous crackle. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl is out to steal your heart and will live rent-free in your mind, and will drop on the 5th of September 2024.
And also, Jules, I believe that's coming to Xbox Game Pass Day 1.
You are totally right. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Number 2, Avowed. For many, Obsidian Entertainment made the best Fallout game when they dropped New Vegas back in 2010.
Confirmed.
The beloved developer is the driving force behind Avowed, a first-person fantasy RPG that just screams Elder Scrolls, but legally isn't Elder Scrolls.
Kind of think of it like aged parchment.
Set in the Living Lands, a place within the fictional world of Aora from the Pillars of Eternity franchise, you play as the envoy of Adir. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we'll carry on. A distant land sent to investigate rumors of a spreading plague. The game promises visceral combat with a variety of swords, spells, bows, shields, and even guns, apparently. I mean, why not? It is a fantasy after all. There will also be companions of various different species, with each being having their own unique set of abilities. From a former mercenary to an eccentric wizard, each buddy will have their own quests for you to explore. Avowed will come to PC and Xbox Series XS, but currently has no fixed release date. Here's hoping it's sooner rather than later. And no, there is no word of PlayStation 5 yet.
Sorry. And finally, number 1, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now, while Harrison Ford might be using half his screen time to complain about how his joints are aching in the new Indiana Jones films, there doesn't seem to be a lick of slowdown in the upcoming action-centric Indiana Jones and the Great Circle video game, which is set to drop sometime later this year. Although, to be honest, the real title of this game should have been Indiana Jones and the Great Polygonal Line, as all anyone and their nan is talking about is how good it's going to feel to crack Nazis in the face with a 10-foot whip in first person, especially when it looks this stunning. Even when you're not stripping Hitler's goons of their face flesh, there's tons of exploration, puzzle solving and platforming to contend with, making this feel like every Tomb Raider's fantasy that is being injected with that surge of adrenaline that only developer machine games can inject things with. Played right, this will stand alone as not just a brilliant game, but will be shooting up the ranks of one of the best indie media available, and will be a must-play for fans.
Also, we should stress by indie media, we mean Indiana Jones related media.
Yes, true. Although the original Xbox game is going to be hard to beat, I'm just putting it out there. And there we go, my friends. Those were the 10 best upcoming Xbox games that you can look forward to in 2024. Thank you very much, James, for joining me here. Do you have your social medias you want to plug?
I do, at Games Daily on TikTok, which is where I spend most of my time, because I don't know what's wrong with me, and other various platforms. And Jules, I believe yours are RetroJ, but the O is a 0.
Indeed, and I'm on X, the dead platform. But I'm also over on Instagram as well. We can come check out all of my Warhammer photos that I know you love looking at. So, until next time, my friends, stay safe, take care of yourself, you big ledge, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.